Good afternoon. This is Vineeth here. I'm a UI UX designer here at GeekyAnts. So before I actually proceed, I would love to take a small survey. I would love to understand how many of you are working as UI UX designers or product designers here. You can raise your hands. Okay. I'm assuming I see not a lot of people have lifted hands. I'm assuming either they are from different backgrounds or want to start their career as UI UX designers. The reason why I asked, why I wanted to know this data is I want to majorly um, craft my presentation in such a way that I am able to cater to to the audience better. Just as the way that I am currently leveraging this data in terms of understanding how I can craft my presentation better for you guys, since you're all freshers here. Most of them are freshers here. Um, we can also leverage data in product design. So that is today's topic of discussion. Data driven product design. Before I can actually get started with the presentation, I would love to give a small introduction about myself. I'm Vineeth Kiran. I am a UI UX designer here at GeekyAnts. I have about 3 years of experience working in this domain. During my tenure working with GeekyAnts, I've been exposed to multiple different domains. That includes healthcare, human resource management, Web3, AI, which is like the hot cake right now, and of SaaS products, a lot of SaaS products as well, e-commerce websites, few more domains like that. So let's quickly understand what the data-driven design is. So data-driven design is basically leveraging how you are able to leverage data to how you are basically able to leverage data to take design decisions. So before we actually dive into the presentation, we want to understand why we are actually why do we actually need to leverage data in product design. So leveraging data in product design will actually give you it will actually give you more informed decision making, which actually means like it will help you reduce your guesswork. It also provides a factual basis of design decisions. It ensures that the changes that you are able to do are actually by real world problems. It will help you improve user experience. When I say improve user experience, I mean you can analyze user data, and it can also help you identify pain points. It will also help you to understand user journeys as well. So it can also help you create products which are better market fit. So data will actually help you understand which functionalities are most valued by users. So that data can help you with, which also means that there's less guesswork for you. Cost efficiency. Cost efficiency is one more thing that data can help you with. So how is it making it cost efficient? So data will actually help you understand real life world problems. This actually gives you an idea of important features that needs to come in, and also this will help you reduce your guesswork, and also it will help you focus more on features, which is very important. Okay. Um, Before we can actually get into the presentation, we might want to understand a few key terminologies. So those key terminologies are retention rate. So what is a retention rate? So retention rate is basically a percentage of users who use your product over a period of time. What does that mean? So let's say that you own an e-commerce application, and a lot of users are on the application. Let's say at the start of September, you had about 100 users. Let's simplify it. Let's say that you had about 100 users, and at the end of maybe let's say 30 days, the end of September, you see only 30 people are actually using the platform. That means that your retention rate is about 30%. Churn rate. So churn rate is basically the opposite inverse of what retention rate is. It basically means that there are a total number of people who stopped using the product. So let's say that on the same e-commerce platform application, you had about 100 people using the application, and only only about 20 people are using it, stopped using it at the end of the day. So that gives you that gives you the churn rate. Moving ahead, we have conversion rate. So conversion rate is basically okay. Let's define a conversion rate. So conversion rate is basically an actionable a rate that you're able to identify while users do a desirable action. For example, let's say you own a e-commerce website. We can take the same example. You own an e-commerce website and you have a landing page on it. So the main conversion that you would want to see on a landing page is users to sign up. So so let's say about 100 people visited the landing page, and only about 20 people signed up to the platform. So the conversion rate there would be about 20%. Click-through rate. So a click-through rate could be for any link, I would say. So a click-through rate is basically a measure of success for a particular button or a link. So let's say you own an e-commerce website and you have multiple products in your cart. You're measuring a click-through rate for a particular buy now button. So 100 people visited the page and only 20 were able to click on the button. So then the click through rate is about 20%. Let's understand the types of product. Let's understand the types of data and product design. So basically there are about two types, which is quantitative data and qualitative data. So quantitative data usually defines as the number quantity suggests. It's about numbers. It basically defines about how much, how many, and how often. So these give you measurable insights into user behavior. So there are multiple ways how you can capture quantitative data. Let's discuss about a few. Web and mobile analytics. So there are a lot of websites which will give you analytics in terms of how the total number of click rates, bounce rates, conversion rates that are happening throughout your platform. So integrating with such kind of a website will give you more analytics, which can help you take data-driven decisions much better. So a few tools like that are Google Analytics, Adobe Analytics, and Map Panel. Okay, next we have A/B testing. So A/B testing basically defines. So how A/B testing works is you have two set of designs. So design A and design B for a particular feature, and you compare design A and B, and then you take a decision if design A is working better or design B is working better. To give you a better example, I think a lot of people would be using Instagram. And since a lot of people use Instagram, I think you would also notice that a particular feature that you see on your mobile is very different when compared to your friend. Sometimes it's very different. The reason why that happens is because Instagram does a lot of A/B testing. So they release a particular for a particular flow. They release two features, feature A and design A and design B, and then they test it out, so with real life audience. So once they test it out, they get an understanding of how it is actually performing. So once they get a understanding of how it's performing, they will be able to they take the decision, okay, design A is actually performing better, and we will push this design A to everybody who's using Instagram. So that's pretty much pretty much on how A/B testing works. Heat maps and click tracking. Okay. So heat maps are another way of analytics, how you will be able to understand how users are potential, where users' attention is going. So heat map, how actually a heat map works is it you should be able to link your website or a platform with tools such as Hotjar and Crazy Egg. So these will give you an idea of where the user's attention is actually going. So the heat maps usually are in terms of hotter colors are usually red, and the neutral colors come close to like blues, etc. Blues. So the way this application works is they take data such as scrolls, clicks, and while user hovers, where he is hovering at, to convert this data into a heat map kind of a structure. so that this data can be used. So let's say that on a sign up on a landing page, your user's attention had to go through a particular CTA, but it was not going there. The reason is because maybe let's say that you have had another image next to it, which was actually grabbing users' attention there. So you see that there is a bounce off, like you want the users to do something, but they're not doing that. There's a particular CTA you want them to click, but they're not doing that. So analytics, heat maps, and click tracking applications can give you an idea about where users' attention is and how you can change. If you feel that it's not doing what it's supposed to do, you can go ahead and change your designs later. Cohort analysis. So cohort analysis is basically group of people who share a particular characteristics. They track these guys, so they make these people in terms of a particular group, since they share a common characteristics, and then they track them over a period of time. So that would give an understanding of how users are actually performing through the application. Okay, benefits of qualitative data. It actually gives you a broad perspective of user behavior with a very large sample. It also offers a significant insights, which can also help you to either prove or disprove a hypothesis. It helps prioritize design change. It helps you prioritize design change based on user metrics. It will also help you to prioritize features which are very necessary at the start. Qualitative data. Okay, so qualitative data is all about the quality of data. How does that work? So this qualitative data usually answers questions like why, how, and how people actually interact with the product. Um, these give you more insights into user motivations. There are multiple ways how you can collect qualitative data. Let's run through a few of them. User interview. So I am pretty sure that a lot of people would have an idea of what user interview is. So user interview is basically having a conversation one-on-one with your user, so that you're able to get very rich information in terms of the product that you're trying to design for. Usability testing. So usability testing is basically when you have a product ready or you have a prototype ready. You go ahead and you sit with the user to understand how he's actually performing it. So the advantage of this is it gives you an understanding of if they're stuck with a particular obstacle, you will be able to identify it at that point of time. It also gives you an understanding of how they're performing throughout the application. If the user if the goal that you have set to attain a particular conversion rate, if it is being met or no. If it is not, you get an understanding of why it's not being met, and then you will be able to make changes accordingly. Okay, surveys and open-ended questions. So surveys and open-ended questions give you more understanding in terms of how people are how what people want. So you can ask very important questions like what would you think like the next feature would be on the platform. These kind of open-ended questions would give very rich insights in terms of understanding what users motivations and pain points are here. Okay. Customer feedback and reviews. A lot of apps have most apps have play stores and app stores where you're able to collect a lot of feedback. So customer feedback, you also have like in-app forms where you're able to collect a lot of feedback regarding the application. That's really important for you to collect a lot of data and feedback. So this can help you prioritize features. Okay, benefits of qualitative data. The qualitative data is usually, worked upon after receiving a set of quantitative data. So since it's worked upon after receiving a set of quantitative data, this provides you more understanding of users' motivation, needs, and pain points. It also offers qualitative data on certain user behavior. It gives you an idea of why the users are behaving in a certain way. It also helps you generate new ideas for features. Like I said, since you talk to users, you get to know what is the product actually lagging in and how you can actually make it market fit. Okay. Next, let's check out a few case studies. So the first case study that we're going to be talking about is Netflix. So this is a time. This case study is about a time where Netflix was not that famous, like you all know right now. So Netflix wanted to increase user engagement and reduce their churn rate. So let's understand what they did to reduce the churn rate. So they started off with quantitative data, which is like Netflix actually collected a large number of data, which included user viewing habits, watch times, pause rates, replays, search queries. They also measured the number of seconds that a particular user lands on a particular tile before clicking it, and the number of seconds that they hovered over it as well. So this kind of data gave an understanding of what is the most engaging content for users. They also tested A/B testing. So in A/B testing, they actually tested a lot of UI layouts, thumbnail designs, and recommendation algorithms to see which version actually led to the highest retention rate and user satisfaction. Qualitative data. So Netflix gathered qualitative data through user surveys and focus groups to understand user preferences and pain points. This feedback actually help them to refine the user interface and experience much better. So yeah, after doing all this, the users would have the application should of course have a positive impact, right? Yes, they did. They saw a reduction in churn rate, which means that users who stopped dropping off using the application, they saw a reduction of 6 to 9% in that. So we can move to the next case study, which is Spotify. The challenge, okay, so this is a time about Spotify's creation for Weekly. I think a lot of people use Spotify here, so I think they would know what is Discover Weekly. So for people who don't know what is Discover Weekly, a Discover Weekly is basically a playlist which gives you recommendation in terms of the music that you listen to, very curated, especially for you, I would say. um, yeah, the challenge for Spotify was it wanted to improve user retention and engagement level by creating highly recommended music playlist for a particular individual. How did they do this? So they tracked a lot of data, which included users listening habits, playlist creation, the type of songs that is there in the playlist, the skips that they do, what genre that these songs belong to when they skip a song, and replaying a song. So they captured all this data they captured all this data, and on A/B testing, they worked on a lot of aspects, which included placing UI elements in different places, and playlist recommendations. Next, through quantitative data, they also collected a lot of feedback in terms of in the application, in-app application, and on they and focus groups. What this led is they were able to achieve features such as offline listening, because they listen to their users. So after this, they were able to increase their retention rate of about 70 to 80%. They also saw about 40 million users who streamed 5 billion tracks after the release of Discover Weekly. Okay, moving ahead next, I would love to talk I would love to talk a little bit about my personal experience working with data. So I think about 8 months ago, we designed for one of the biggest jewelry brand in India. So the client came up to us and they told us that they are seeing a lot of users who are dropping off at the checkout point. So when we analyzed the data that is available, we understood that users are not able to have proper informed. They're not informed properly about. They're not fully aware of things that is happening on the checkout through the entire checkout process. We also understood that it's not chunked down properly, so that users are very informed about what particular stage they're at. So we redesigned the application in such a way that we redesigned the entire application, but the main pain point was on the checkout flow. Um, we understood that a lot of users are dropping off because it's not fully um, it's not properly segregated. So we exactly did that, and we were able to see earlier the conversion rate for the checkout was about 20%, and we were able to bounce it back to about 60%. So that's pretty much how we actually design products at GeekyAnts. We actually follow pretty much the same kind of manner that we spoke about right now. Let's quickly jump to challenges of data-driven design. So there are a lot of challenges when it comes to data. We'll quickly explore a few of that. So one major one is data overload, because it is very easy to become overwhelmed with the sheer amount of data that is available. For you, it is more important for you to understand your users goals and motivations, and also your business goals, to cater to that particular data set. This will actually help you to reduce data paralysis. Next one is balancing creativity. So balancing creativity is very important with the sheer number of data that you're able to see. It becomes hard for you to balance creativity, but you should also understand that data is not dictating design. It is it is just part of it, and it should not hinder with your creativity. Ethics and privacy. So right, the data is very personal for everyone, so it is very important as a UI UX designer for you to collect data with utmost security, which includes GDPR compliance and CCPA. um, Also, just know that it is data and it's very personal for users, so just keep an eye on that. That brings us to the end of the presentation. So just to conclude it, leveraging data is very crucial. It helps you create products that users love. By using qualitative data, which gives you measurable insights, and quantitative data, which can back it up. Um, which will actually give you a deeper understanding of users motivation. It is designers can build products which is very market fit. Data driven design is just not about numbers. It's about understanding users behaviors and how you can craft products which truly resonate with them. Thank you so much.